everyone, it's Nicole, and today I'm bringing you my Booktube Games TBR. If you don't know what the Booktube Games are, it was created by Myonna over at littlewolfreads, and it is a month-long readathon going on from February 1st to March 1st, where anyone who signs up are split into teams and they are competing against each other to see who can read the most pages in that month. Now there are 5 teams: Team Derry, Team Hogwarts, Team Half-Blood, Team Neverland, and Team Ketterdam. I am a part of Team Derry, Maine, and you probably guessed that because I have a couple of Pennywises here on either side of me. Within the readathon, there are 4 challenges, which are totally optional to do, but they do count as extra pages towards your team's final count if you complete them. So the first week's challenge is to read the group book. Your team has 2 hosts who pick the group book. And for Team Derry, Maine, it is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. So if you finish the group book in that challenge week, it counts as double pages to your total count. The second week challenge is to read somewhere where you're not typically allowed to read, like work, like at the movies, like if you're at a family dinner, which I got that week in the bag because I read at work all the time. Shh, don't tell my boss. And the third week challenge is to host a 24-hour readathon, either by yourself or with a buddy, and just to read for 24 hours straight. And the fourth week challenge is Video Scavenger Hunt. The hosts of your team are going to upload a video where they're going to hide an emoji which you have to find. Then we have to take a screenshot of it and send it to our host as proof. And all these challenges, if they are completed within the week, count as extra pages to your final count. So my TBR is kind of broken down into books that are top priority and then books that are the lowest priority. The first book that I'm going to be reading is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. That is our group book, so the challenge is in that first week, so I want to make sure that I get this tackled and out of the way so it can count for double pages to our group. And this particular edition is 552 pages. The next books that I'm going to be talking about are book club books that I am a part of that I have to read for them. The first club I'm going to be talking about is my In Real Life book club, and we are going to be reading A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. We did read A Darker Shade of Magic in January, so we're just continuing on with the series. This edition of A Gathering of Shadows is 509 pages, and this edition of A Conjuring of Light is 624 pages. Then after that, because my In Real Life book club meets bi-weekly, we are going to be reading Hunter by Mercedes Lackey, and this book has 374 pages. The next book club that I'm a part of is the I'm Too Old for This Shit book club. It is a fairly new Booktube book club. The first live stream meeting is the first Saturday of the month, where we will be discussing Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark T. Sullivan. And this book has 513 pages. The next book club is my own Booktube book club that I co-host with Angela over at Books Are My Heart, and that is the Romantics at Heart book club, where we meet the first Tuesday of every month. And for February, we are discussing If You Dare by Kresley Cole. This edition is 349 pages. And the last but not least book club is the Cozy Mystery Book Club. It is another Booktube book club that is hosted by Angela at Books Are My Heart and Courtney at Courtagonist. We are going to be discussing Murder at the Vicarage by Agatha Christie. And I'm either going to be listening to the audiobook for this one or reading the ebook. The audiobook is 8 hours and 12 minutes, or the ebook is 307 pages. The next book that I'm going to be talking about are a couple of buddy reads that I'm going to be a part of. The first one is with Jessica at Game of Tomes, Meg at Tome Infinity, Carrie from Carrie Louise Reads, and Shelby at Read and Find Out. And we are going to be reading Dune by Frank Herbert. This particular edition has 516 pages. I know it looks bigger than that because there is an index and an appendix, and some acknowledgments in the back. I'm strictly going to be counting just the pages that I am reading, which is 516. The next book that I'm going to be buddy reading is with my friend Jenny. We have been friends since high school, and she has since moved out of the state, so to stay in touch and communicate more often, we decided to do some buddy reading this year. We just read The Golem and the Genie, which was really fun, so we decided to do another book. That one is going to be Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and this book has 392 pages. The next book that I'm buddy reading is going to be with Kelsey at Hardback Haven, and possibly with my co-hostess with the co-mostess, Jen. You see her on my channel sometimes. She's also a member of my in real life book club. She may or may not be joining us because she has a huge TBR for February as well, but we are going to be reading Mean Streak by Sandra Brown. This is a reread for me, but Myonna says rereads do count, and this book has 471 pages. Next, for the month of February, I did want to read some Beverly Jenkins in honor of Black History Month. She is a very prolific romance author that I have just been dying to read some of her work. One book that I'm going to be reading by Beverly Jenkins is called Forbidden. The audiobook is 9 hours and 27 minutes, or the ebook is 384 pages. The next two are library books that were on hold but now are available for me on my digital library app. The first one is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I did read the first two books, Aragon and Eldest, a very, very long time ago, but I never moved on to Brisinger or Inheritance. So I do want to reread these books to kind of have it fresh because I vaguely remember what happens. And while I do have the physical copy, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook because I just kind of want to get through it, refresh my memory so I can move on to the new material. So the audiobook is 16 hours and 22 minutes. This physical copy has 503 pages. The next book that's available to me on my library app is The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. I read the first 3 books in the Mistborn series, and this is kind of a continuation series in the future. The audiobook is 10 hours and 52 minutes, or the mass market paperback that I've seen around is 392 pages. The next book is a series that I want to continue from January, which is The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro, and this is the second book in the Charlotte Holmes series. The first one being A Study in Charlotte, which I read back in January. Absolutely loved it. It was recommended to me by Rocky over at Blonde with a Book, and that one is 341 Kindle pages. And the last book that I'm going to talk about is It by Stephen King. This is going to be a reread for me, but since I am a part of Team Dairy Maine, I figured it's just appropriate. And I do have the paperback somewhere. I just can't find it. I couldn't find it for this video, so I'm just gonna have to like scour my shelves, my boxes, everywhere that I keep my books. But I know I do have a physical copy of this book, which is a mass market paperback of 1,090 pages. So if I get to that book, it is gonna be a very high page count for my team. So that is it. That is my TBR for the Booktube Games. In total, it's going to be 15 books and around 7,300 pages. Don't forget to like my video if you did. Comment below and tell me if you're participating in the Booktube Games and which team you're a part of. And if you have posted a TBR, I want to know about it because I want to go and watch it. And you can follow me on all the social media platforms. The links will be in the description box below. I'll see you next time, avid readers.